we wanted to go through the books today for our listening audience. Tell us about all the books.
Okay. We're going to start with the first book then, okay?
All right, I'm ready.
Start with The Marquis Seeks His Muse. And that is about this big, hunky guy, tall, dark, and handsome. His name is, what is his name? Martin. And he kind of, there's four guys that hang out together, and they all grew up together. Martin and Frederick grew up together. The other four, Jonathan and Henry, meet up with Frederick and Martin in school. So they were friends, all four of them friends since they were in school. Well, Henry has to take his mother to the theater. And in order to get them to go with him, he says, I'll pay for our drinks and all the ladies from the men's club if you'll come with me. So they go, and Martin sees this woman, this beautiful woman. And of course, everybody else in the theater saw her too. But he, in 15 seconds, he decides he has to have this woman. Well, nobody knows who she is, and they don't know who she is because she's been gone. She was living in the country with her mother and her younger brother because her dad died suddenly. And that is something that comes to light at the very end of the book. So anyway, he sees her, then he has to find out who she is. And once he finds out who she is, then he has to pursue her. In the meantime, something else is going on in the story. She gets kidnapped. Oh my gosh, all this drama and intrigue happens in the midst of this huge love story. But it is a romance, and a romance means it's a happily ever after. So the next book is about Frederick and Margaret. And Margaret kind of comes into her own kind of late.
Yeah.
She had the biggest crush on Frederick. She saw him when she was like 11 years old, and she just felt, she was so infatuated with him. Well, when she started going to the balls, she could watch him and see what he was doing and all the women that he left with. And so she finally comes into her own, and she finds this great motif that shows off her better assets. And so he falls for her, but he knows she's an innocent.
Right.
And he don't want anything to do with an innocent. And it's hard for him because he's kind of torn between really wanting her and not wanting her, but she gets him. And then they have to, they go together to try and find this woman, this young woman. And that's from book 3. Because they find out about this woman, and she's written all these letters to her father. But they find the letters, and they were with some woman. So Jonathan reads all the letters. He falls madly in love with this girl before he's even laid his eyes on her. Then they have to go find her, and she's been abducted. So another abduction. But hers wasn't very long. Luckily,
she survived.
Yes, and she's beautiful as ever, and she's a little strange, but she's really pretty and very sweet. But she is strange. One thing about her that's very unique is she's like the horse whisperer.
Oh.
Horses talk to her.
Mina, do you have horses near you?
Do I? I used to. When I was young, I rode horses.
Did you own a horse?
My grandfather had horses. I rode, yeah.
Okay.
But see, I'm a Texan, and Texans know all about horses. Do you believe that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Well, yeah, so she's kind of odd, but Jonathan is just so mesmerized with her. He just falls in love with her,
Right.
and then Jonathan has troubles. He has terrible troubles. His father is wicked, and his father's done terrible things to his mother, and so he has to go through all that. And then he goes to the fire, the Radcliffe fire, and he gets burned in the fire. All kinds of sad things happen to Jonathan, but you know what? It's a romance.
Yep.
So, happily ever after.
There's the HE. All right, next one.
And then the last book is the book that we're waiting to publish. Waiting on the cover artist. And
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I know. And this is about Henry and Helen. And Helen is she's really smart, and she's very shy, very quiet,
Right.
and is into nature, and her mother can't stand her. And so Helen gets kidnapped. Another kidnapping. She's kidnapped, but she is sold as a slave.
Oh no.
Yes, it's terrible. And so poor Helen, she's up on the northern border of England that's borders Scotland, and they had a prison farm, and oh, it was terrible what happened to her and all these people that worked at that prison farm. It was terrible. But she escapes and ends up at a doctor's house because she was unconscious. I can't tell you how she got there, but she got there. But she has amnesia, and she can't remember anything. Nothing. Not who she is, not where she came from, nothing. But Henry, because he loves her so much, he finds her and he marries her. He says, because back then, a woman was chattel. That's all. And if you, it was either your father that owned you or your husband. Or your older brother, you know.
And your husband owns you, right, Mina?
My husband? Oh, excuse me. No. What we're talking about is England in the late 1700s, and women were chattel. And so he says, I have to protect her, and without her father, I have to marry her because I need to protect her. Otherwise, terrible things might happen to her again. Somebody had to own her.
Right.
You know? And I guess to a certain extent, that's, you know, there are very few civilizations where the men took the women's name. And it's still less recognized than you would think for this time and this era, because women still take the husband's name.
Right.
It's rare that a woman keeps her own last name.
Mm-hmm.
It does happen. You do run into people that do that. And sometimes as a writer, sometimes they'll use their maiden name and keep their married name for separate.
Right.
You know. But yeah, women can own things. You couldn't own things back then.
All right. Okay.
Land, property, business. Women weren't allowed to go into business unless it was
right.
something stupid.
I got it. All right. So book 4 will be coming out soon. You guys can go to minavalentine.com and
Yes,
check
yes,
out Mina
please.
today.
Yes, please, please, please.
All right.
You can see me on the Amazon website.
All right.